Hey everyone, welcome back to CP Whiskey Creek in nscale. In this video I'm going to share some of the things that I got up to throughout the month of August. I started August doing some traveling and I'm going to save that for another video, so you have to stay tuned and check on back for that video. But when I got back from that traveling, here's some of the things that I got myself into. Thanks to my day job, I ended up in the town of Palmerston. Now I briefly heard of Palmerston. It's a small little town in Ontario, but they have a really impressive train display that they have set up there. The town really has embraced its rail history, even though there's no rails that run through there anymore, but they have a beautiful museum. Unfortunately, it was closed the day that I was there, but the museum looks beautifully restored. They have several boxcars and caboose set up on the outside for display. And they have a bunch of tracks that I understand that they used to do the handcart races. And they also have in another part of the town a steam locomotive that's on display and beautifully restored. There's murals everywhere. So I highly recommend that if you have an opportunity to visit Palmerston in Ontario and check things out, especially when they have the museum open. The other adventure I ended up on was probably my final trip to my local hobby shop, Paris Junction Hobbies. Sadly, they announced that they are closing their doors as the owners Bill and Joan are retiring, and their son David is moving on to other things, and he's kind of been running a lot of the shop for the last little while. I understand that they've tried to sell the business, but unfortunately nothing was able to come from that. When I ventured back into model trains, probably about 10 to 15 years ago, this was and always really has been my go-to place. While they never really stocked a huge supply of nscale stuff, they were always willing to try and order stuff that I wanted in. They ended up expanding into the RC market, which took the bulk of the store, but the way that I kind of figured it, as long as it keeps the lights on, then I wasn't opposed. Because like I said, they would always order anything that I wanted in as long as they could get their hands on it. So I went down for nostalgia's sake to check out things and capture a few pictures and videos of the inside of the store before the liquidation fully kicked into gear. I had a few things on order, so I was able to pick those up. As well, I obviously picked up a few other goodies since everything was 20% off. One of the items that I had on order was the new iconic replica Go Transit bus, and it looks pretty sweet. And for those of you who don't know, Paris Junction is actually named after the location where the original trains that came through Brant came together. So the Great Western Railway and the Buffalo, Brantford, and Goderich Railway. And all those ended up basically becoming Canadian National later on, and it's still a pretty popular place for rail fans to go and watch trains. So that's some of the stuff that I've been up to for the month of August. Thanks for watching and have a good day.